If you put anything on the internet, someone will hate it. Welcome to Confessions of a Lucky Storyteller. My name is Joe Wilson, and I am a lucky storyteller. Thanks to everybody who watched the first episode and left comments on the Facebook and on the YouTube and on the Twitter. I really appreciate it, and people subscribed, and that's very nice, and thank you. What's the deal with haters, naysayers, and trolls? Do you have people in your life who are maybe not all like, hey, good idea? They're a little more like, bad idea. Not good. Not good. Why would you want to do that? You have any of those people? Why would you want to do that? Really? Make any money doing that? Anything? I don't know. Do people still do that? I had one friend, no lie. Really? Do you think you have something to say? Those voices from the past, you know, they can stick in your head a little bit and they can keep you from doing really cool shit. So what my suggestion would be is to think about what it is that you want to do. Whatever it is, just think about you and your idea. Nothing else. Just you and your idea. Now, what's stopping you from making that idea happen? And I know right away you have no problem coming up with a list, because we all have a list. I have lots and lots of lists. Some people are like, I'm just not comfortable doing that kind of thing. If you are not doing something because you're afraid of what people might think, or that somebody might hate it, or leave a nasty comment, or whatever. Yep. So, fuck them. Next. Who are these people who, A, take the time to watch or read or whatever, something that they don't like, and then they take more time to let you know they don't like it, and sometimes they will let you know at length, point by point by point, why they don't like it. Who the fuck spends their time doing that shit, and why should you care? Why? The thing about it is, like, I know for a fact what I make, the stories I tell, the swearing, I make a vampire show. You say the word vampire and people run for the hills, some of them. The haters are spending their time, instead of making something cool, they're just hating on shit. They're tearing it apart. They're finding anything and everything wrong with it. And I understand, you know, there is room for critical dialogue. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that we shouldn't get feedback. But if you are thinking about starting to do something, get used to the idea of being uncomfortable. I'm sorry. It's a horrible way to say it, but that is kind of the reality. You have to love what it is that you want to do enough to not binge every season of that show. You know the show. That one. Yes, that's the show. My Netflix queue is like, I gave up video games because I knew it was taking up too much time and I wasn't building anything. Part of the reason I stopped doing stand-up comedy was I didn't feel like I was building anything. You may have to change your plan. I did not plan on making graphic novels. Ever. Never the plan. Was never the plan. Not for a second. But when I looked at what could have been an excuse to quit, which was, you know, I failed on Kickstarter. We didn't raise the money. Bye. Done. So long. We lost a great cast member, and we can't make it anymore. Bye. That would have been quite understandable. But if I gave up, I never would have had all the cool experiences of meeting lots of you guys, of all the conversations I've had online, of this week I mailed Vampire Mob to Greece. Like, I'm just one guy in an apartment. To be able to tell stories all over the world, that's crazy. And that's what I'm telling you. Like, I know there's plenty of people who don't like what I do. They're not my audience. Sorry. I am sure there's something out there for you. What I do is not. press stop, move on with your life. Find something else to do. And if people, if you do make something or put something online or get shit from somebody, ask yourself, why are they telling me this? What's their deal? If you have people in your life who aren't that supportive of you, let's say you want to write a book, and they're like, really? Write a book? Great, yeah, write a book. Sure, you? Really? The haters and the naysayers, what is making them ask that question? And what have they done? And the other thing to keep in mind is that if you're afraid to try something and it's because you're afraid you're going to fail, you might. Sorry. And I have big in public. You know, you fail on Kickstarter. 2010, October 2010, I failed on Kickstarter. Huge. I thought that the audience that I had for Vampire Mob was bigger at that point, and I was wrong. Completely wrong. And the reality was I needed 6 months to raise the budget to make season 2. There was no other way to do it at that time. So if you don't take the failure as an excuse, as a sign that you should quit, so people use that, oh, it's a sign, you should quit. That's what the sign is. If you look at the history of a lot of stuff, a lot of failures, and then things work. That is kind of part of the process. Failure is part of the process. It's a shitty part of the process, but it's part of the process. That's where you have to change the plan. That's when you have to come up with another way to do things and not just give up. Thanks for watching. Go make cool stuff happen. See you next week. Coffee cheers.